Ghana featherweight champ Joe Teti, nearer the camera, leads the way to the ring for his fight with Percy Lewis in Accra Sports Stadium. 15,000 people are there to watch, including President Kwame Nkrumah and his wife, because this is Ghana's first big international professional fight.
Ghana has known some big-name sportsmen and women whose exploits transcend their borders, but only a few answer the roll call for global dominance, relevance, and recognition. And the very first of these is David Kote, better known as DK Poison in and out of the ring. He won the WBC featherweight title for Ghana in 1975 in California, USA. His greatness in the sport in Ghana is so enormous that through his exploits, Ghana registered her very first victory to earn global silverware in any sport. His achievements lifted the mood of the Ghanaian people who at the time needed a big distraction due to economic hardships. DK Poison assumed iconic status and gave hope and inspiration to the younger generation.
We followed DK from his fight with Evans Armstrong and then stayed up late to listen to him fight Ruben Olivares in California. Okay, and those were all the high points. You go back to school the next day and you have something to talk about.
The very next day on Radio Ghana News in the morning that it was announced that DK Poison had won, the fight and had won Ghana its first world title. As I told you, the jubilation and euphoria and all that.
It was on TV constantly and having audience with the head of state at the time, Couture Champa. If he could have access to all that, it was huge. And that was a great foundation for the successive world championships that we had. So really, on the scale of that achievement, I don't think you can even measure it now. You can't really understand now because of the alphabet organizations and all that. At the time, it was just one. They had the WBC, and then there was the WBA. That's it.
Boxers ready for the first round.
Through the exploits, he is reported to have shown bigger patriotism by giving away part of his $75,000 spurs from his second title defense for the importation of mackerel during a time when Ghana's economic challenges had affected the availability of foreign exchange. He was reportedly promised that the amount will be returned to him, but this has not been honored. So 4.5 decades on, I explore the circumstances and the work done by successive governments in the boxing loan. This year, specifically Sunday, September 20, 2020, marks the 45th anniversary of the annexation of the WBC featherweight world title by David Kote, aka DK Poison. He made this achievement on the back of some earlier failed attempts. First, it was Love Alote, then Floyd Cloutey Robertson. But eventually, it was he, DK Poison, in the ring who ended what looked like a jinx for Ghana in winning global silverware in any major sporting discipline. This big feat of 1975 not only helped DK Poison annex the highly revered WBC featherweight title, but also opened the floodgates for 9 others to follow.
Azumah Nelson, there's not much we could say to Pat Caldell. He's absolutely shattered.
That's right. And I came in to knock him out in the first round.
There came Berima Professor Azumah Zum Zum Nelson, who has since become Africa's greatest boxer, following the December 1984 exploits that earned him the WBC featherweight title.
Introducing the Ashanti warrior, Nana Konadu.
Marvelous Nana Konadu in November 1989 with the WBC Super Flyweight title. Ike Bazooka Quartey in June 1994 with the WBA welterweight title.
5, 4 times he deserves, but it's going to be over. The bell ends the round. Ferreira is knocked down. The referee stopped the fight. Junior Jones has picked up
The late Alfred Cobra Cote in July 1994 with the WBO bantamweight title.
again. Another right, and down goes Doherty for the second time.
After a 13-year drought, Joseph Agbeko the King Kong snatched the IBF title from the then champion Luis Alberto Perez in 2007.
Agbeko celebrates as the referee has stopped the fight.
Coincidentally, the feat was in the same state of California where DK Poison won Ghana's first world title. The next year, in 2008, in the month of August, Joshua Clottey, the Heater, won the IBF welterweight title.
From Accra, Ghana, Joshua, the Hater Clottey.
But that was not the end. Emmanuel Tego annexed the IBO lightweight title in December 2016, the first world title fight to be staged at the iconic Bukum Boxing Arena of the Trust Sports Emporium, which had been commissioned only a month earlier by then President John Dramani Mahama. Then came Isaac the Royal Storm Dogbe, who won the WBO Super Bantamweight title in April 2018.
He has power in that right hand, and he's smothering Beltran.
And in February 2019, Richard Comey, after traveling a tough path, won the IBF lightweight title.
Richard!
So how does the legend feel about this, considering that he started it all 45 years ago?
After the weighing, with that free streaks, the Olivari camp sent some beautiful girls to lobby. I said no. You know what that means? Maybe if I would be tempted to have an issue with somebody. I told them, look, me, I've left my manhood in Africa. After the fight, I will let
them bring it back to you.
Yeah. They couldn't have laughed. They laughed at us, so they left.
Yeah. So you didn't even look at any of those beautiful women?
My concentration was on the title belt.
David Kote DK Poison was talented to the extent that he needed no amateur boxing foundation to enter the professional ranks. Indeed, being Ghana's first world champion, he is also the first to have established the trend, as the likes of former IBF lightweight champion Richard Comey and former IBO champion Emmanuel Tego told similar stories. The journey started at the iconic Akotoku Academy, established by the legendary Atukwe Clottey. So DK Poison was born and bred in Adabraka, a suburb of Accra. He also lived in Nima, another suburb, for some time, but he traces more of his early days in boxing to the neighborhoods in Adabraka.
Saturday, we make sure that we wash our dirty uniforms. When we finish washing, then we go to park to go and play football. After the ball, they have to have a fight. We call it how do you call it? We call it winner stay. Yeah? Example, if I fight you and you beat me, you stay. That's how we started. And in my part, when nobody
could ever beat you?
Except one guy. The name was Apeto.
Okay.
He played Olympics. He was older than me. That's why. And also, at that time, I become tired. So that's how he come.
Wow.
So, those of whom we started at that age wouldn't see me to become a champion. They were not surprised.
You never fought amateur boxing?
Sure. Never. Go and check.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
It just happened that, when I went to a gym, to train as a boxer, then there were this guy, JoyNews, who happened to be a national featherweight champion.
Yeah.
There was another guy, Macaulay, I don't remember. He fights in the bantamweight. It's almost, number one contender. In the other manner, all of them were, and then if I may mention this, Ted Ovi and Teddy Meworo, they are professionals. They are professionals. So when I went there, when I started my business, I didn't know whether I should tell the how do you call it, the trainer and manager that I should fight an amateur. But what I know and what I remember is straight, when I became, how do you call it, when I became so this thing that I wanted to fight. I told them I wanted to fight. That's okay. They match me with somebody. I didn't know whether it would be amateur or it was professional. But suddenly they said, okay, be prepared. You are going to fight this boy. The boy was a young, famous Latte. You are going to fight for 6 rounds. That's where I started.
Azumah Nelson is one of the mentees of the legendary DK Poison. As a stablemate of the Akotoku Academy, which was established by Poison's trainer Akotoku Academy, he had the opportunity of sparring with the legend. He fondly rolled back the years when I caught up with him for a conversation.
Growing up as a young boxer, what do you remember of DK Poison and the kind of influence that he had on you, the young boxers at the time?
I know DK Poison when I was about 16 years, something, when he was preparing for the world title, our coach is the trainer, so we spy with him, and we are praying that he should bring the world title, and when he went and won the world title and brought the world title to Ghana, we were so happy because he's the first person, to become a world champion in boxing in this country.
What kind of boxer was he? I mean, you are super. You are up there when it comes to, when it comes to boxing quality. What kind of boxer was DK Poison from your point of view of being the young man who was his sparring partner at the time?
DK Poison is always attack, and has heavy punches, so if you stand there and take the punches for 2-3 rounds, you go down.
In all these, the legend himself knows that he is dangerous in the ring. There was always a good reason why he saw off some of his opponents the way he did.
What I knew was I have some uppercut. None of Ghanaian boxers had got up from.
Okay.
Left upper.
I see.
I remember when I was going to fight for the world title, when training in the gym, there was this guy, the name was doing Fragata. Hey, I've never met this man before. I haven't heard him before. Through my brother who has said no. He used diplomatic means to converse with him. Then the last week when we flying to California, if I go to America, I go to New York. That's where my brother lives. So that I trained there. So when the last week when I shall be flying to them, he sent my brother to come and tell me that if I use my left jab, I will go to easily. And I asked my brother, where have he seen me before? We did him before. Where did you do me before? He said, honestly, so like people say, maybe it could be my left.
1972 was a busy year for DK Poison, as it had been arranged for him to move base down under to Australia on a 7-fight streak. He won 5 and lost 2. The next major endeavor for him in the boxing journey was to fight for the Commonwealth title back at home in Ghana. The Commonwealth title at the time had bigger value and weight in the world of boxing, and Ivan Armstrong, the then reigning champion, was going in for his second title defense against DK Poison. The skilled and lethal punching Ghanaian won the bout via a technical knockout, and by this feat he had emulated Ghana's first ever Commonwealth champion, Roy Ankara. This bout also marked the end of Ivan Armstrong's career, but all was not rosy for DK in that Commonwealth championship as he suffered his first ever knockdown.
I don't know where the phone came from. Key. True. On the floor. That was the first ever when somebody floored me.
I see.
Yeah, so.
How disappointing was it for you, that particular knockdown?
I was not disappointed.
Okay.
I knew what to do.
Okay.
You see, though nobody know me before, I knew what to do when it comes to that critical point.
What's the best thing to do when a boxer is knocked down?
And
I mean, we've seen a few scenarios.
You don't have to hesitate to wake up because the impact is still you.
So you don't have to rush. You
don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. No, like you have to take it gradually. Wake up, listen to the count. Then when you count to 6, one leg will be the same, one leg will be the same. No, when you count to 8, you wake up. That's how I did.
Okay.
Then when it started, then the fight ended.
I see.
It's okay. Then come and see. I had one, how do you call, black eye. Then the 11th round, I changed my tactics. Then they threw in a towel. I said, wake up, let's fight.
The chain of bouts in Australia and Ghana over the period had somewhat prepared DK Poison for the big stage which he badly craved. Every boxer, and for that matter sportsman or woman, always had the ultimate silverware as a dream, and when the moment beckoned in the foreign land of California, USA, DK rose to the occasion.
Most people, when they are going to have a big fight like that, they do some extraordinary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not good. I don't do extraordinary. My normal team, my normal training.
It was your normal training?
Yes. I make sure I become fit.
Okay.
Fitness, endurance, that's all. I don't go in for special, no.
And of course, during your time as well, you didn't use the speedball.
I don't know. Even I don't know. Right now, I don't know how to punch speedball. But when it comes to speed, but when it comes to speed, maybe I'll be faster than you.
I see.
Huh? I will tell you, I'm a natural born. You see, I'm destined to be a boxer. I'm destined to win a world title.
So, if I got you correctly, the only major piece of equipment was that medicine ball that you filled with your own.
And then the punching bag.
The punching bag. Those are the only equipment that you use.
Yeah, I use.
Wow.
Right now, like I said, like I'm telling you, I don't know how to punch speedball. I haven't seen before. But then it was not common. By then it was not common here in Ghana. I remember a Deblay.
Yeah.
From a Deblay. He has.
A Deblay senior, yes.
The senior.
The big day came after years of thorough planning and execution by a syndicate assembled by the then military government of the day, led by General Ike Achampong. The painstakingly promoted bouts for the boxer got him there. The efforts of the team put together by the then government had yielded great results. A boxer from Ghana had yet another opportunity to correct the blunders committed by his compatriots in earlier years.
We flew to California where the fight would take place. They said, oh, this guy, the promoter said, oh, they haven't seen me before. Nobody heard the name before, so I should go and train outside. But the weather was chilly. I came from Africa. Africa was hot. I told them I can't train here. So the reason being that people will come and watch the training. That will convince them whether or not good day. So they took me to what is this? Something Jane Street. That place was warm. See the electric heater, the electric heaters on the so I said, hey, you think I'm a fool like you? you think we Africans are fool? So and I started training there. Then this, by then I was going to, like you said, I was going to fight Olivares. So he sent some spies to come and spy me. He went further to have one boxer to come and spy with me. I didn't show me. I didn't show anything. I don't show nothing. The way he went back and told run, just it's a walk over.
Regular guy.
Walk over. So all people say, oh, this guy, was he's a boxer? He's coming to find some.
Yeah, coins.
So, okay, sir. He brought he started bet. Say, so I was pulling the bag. Look, let me take this over. I've won it already. Even not that particular bet, the symbolic is the symbol to. So I will go.
His Excellency Amakai Amatefu was a major in the Ghana Army, where he was in charge of the national amateur boxing team, the Black Bombers, and the Armed Forces boxing team as well. He also served on the Committee for Sports and eventually became Ghana's sports minister.
His hand was raised as champion in the dressing room.
Why?
Now, DK Poison, like Azumah Nelson, defeated a Mexican hero. He was invincible up to that time. He was really iconic. He was big. So defeating him in Los Angeles, full of Mexicans and Latinos, the arena was full of them, was not acceptable to the fans. So they routed. They threw chairs, they couldn't accept it.
His Excellency Amakai Amatefu, being a key operative in boxing administration in Ghana at the time, was present on the day when DK Poison returned home with the world title.
He was given a hero's welcome. It was very well planned. It coincided with the period of General Champon's rule. There was a national committee that planned the reception, the welcome party. A very elaborate plan was put out to receive a national hero. We had the likes of Colonel Slater, Mr. Mowbray Elliott, Justice D.F. Anine, who accompanied him to Los Angeles. He was the chairman of the boxing syndicate, boxing federation, had very different names at different periods, but that was the governing council of boxing at the time. Justice, the former speaker, Justice Anand, D.F. Anand, was in charge. He accompanied him to Los Angeles and brought him back.
The president of the Ghana Boxing Authority, Lawyer Peter Zwenis, was a young boy at the time, and he also recalls with fondness the big moments.
When he touched down at Akotoku International Airport with the world title and with a white calico, flag on his shoulders, together with his team, the GBA, the Boxing Board of Control who accompanied him, the members, and then also Atukwe Clotte, his trainer, and all that. There was a huge crowd milling who were there to welcome him, and in no time, of course, he had to go and see the head of state, General Champa at the time, present the title, and he was taken through the principal streets of Accra and all that.
My maternal side is Dangbe, and DK is Dangbe. I would always put together a pair of boxing gloves, and I stitched on the DK, okay? And just because of that, my interest in boxing grew. Now, we followed DK from his fight with Evans Armstrong, and then stayed up late to listen to him fight Ruben Olivares in California, okay? And those were all the high points. You go back to school the next day and you have something to talk about. Then you had Senior Didonko or whoever it was who put out the song DK Poesia Kofaba, and it was a hit for us. there was something to relate to.
Tell me how you felt when you got out of the flight and you were coming out and you saw all these people.
No, what people say or what I would say, mixed feeling.
I see.
I started dropping.
Tears.
I didn't know what happened, but they said mixed feeling. I haven't seen some before.
And you met the head of state at the time.
Yes.
I mean, you sat with him.
Yes, I sat in. The first I had my champagne, the champagne.
You drank champagne for the
first time in your life? Yes, the first time in my lifetime.
Tell me that.
He opened the champagne.
I see.
Pour himself in, then we have a toast.
Wow.
It was, I enjoyed it the first time. You know, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a beer. It wasn't like a it wasn't like a
wine. Beer.
You know, the taste is present.
Yeah.
It lifted the national spirit. It raised the national morale, and it was a very important time for us because then there were beginnings of difficulties in the lives of the people. Those difficulties were beginning to surface.
There are many others from the period who had wonderful memories. One of them is Mr. E.T. Plaha, a retired civil servant who previously worked with the erstwhile State Construction Company.
DK to go to America to win the title, it was a joy. It was a pride for us. So we all expected him to come so that we give him the glorious welcome. And I do remember, because the Adans know that this is what he has done, and his lineage also comes from there. He was honored at one of our festivals.
Tell me about it.
Adans Akotoku Festival. He was invited there and honored so that people will know that DK has brought something and Adan has been put by then on the Ghana and the world map.
Ninkabo atuleni demegba okenito jeinto bo nkada oke obae nyapam ya ne omiye eni amiye dike boys na kababa left and right now boys left go my boy. Poison. I am inside. Poison. I am